Hands down, the best episode of the Tournament of Power yet. Oh, baby. So, triple digits, baby. Episode 100 is in the books, and my god, the hype leading into this episode, and I think it lived up to the hype, in my personal opinion. Obviously, there's going to be back and forth about the Saints from Universe 6. Obviously, they teased us to death with Hit versus Jiren. But can I just say one thing? Okay, the power scaling is one thing, but Kale obviously went nuts. We knew she would. We know what the triggers now. Obviously, it makes sense with what we saw with Kabe and now what we saw with Goku. By the way, I'm so glad she kept on saying Son Goku all the time because that doesn't remind you of anything, right? Oh, Kakarot! Well, it just beat the fuck out of saying Kakarot or shouting Kakarot all the time. So it's a change. Obviously, and Kale's motivation for hating Goku stems on the form of jealousy. In Broly's case, it was the fact that Goku was crying the entire time, which was a bit dumb in a lot of people's view. In Kale's case, it makes a lot more sense. Are they implying? Okay, so here's the thing: are they implying that Kale is stronger than Broly? Because let's talk about the feats, okay? In Super Saiyan Blue, I don't care what you say about the holding back, okay? If Goku was holding back with his Kamehameha, he would have been able to knock back Kale, okay? He didn't do it. I'm sorry, he didn't do anything to hold back. He tried everything. He tried a Ki Energy Blast, he tried strikes. Kale was tanking him like a boss. Obviously, when it started off, that was a different story. Kale was getting her ass wrecked. And to be honest with you, that scene, it was kind of fucked up, and it did kind of remind me of what happened with Videl and Spopovich, even though it wasn't as violent. It gave me the same vibes. Because obviously, in this case, you have the 2-on-1, you have the Sumo, and you have the lobster-looking guy from Universe 10 beating up on one Saiyan, which I did think was fucked up. And by the way, by the end, when Kale went nuts and she shot the energy blast, the Ki Energy Blast, she did eliminate the lobster, so I thought that was poetic justice. So obviously, she got the shit bit out of her. She got knocked out, and then you had the Sumo slapping her back to try to wake her up again so they could beat the shit out of her. In comes Caulifla to KO both of them, and she ends up eliminating the Sumo. By the way, she powered up to Super Saiyan and threw him out the platform. That was impressive, okay? So obviously that's another 2 fights from Universe 10 gone if you keep them score. I'm pretty sure obviously Kabe also eliminated 2 people, so I'm pretty sure they were from Universe. They could be from Universe 3, but I'm not too sure. It looked like Nigirishi got hit by Kabe, so I'm not too sure. Obviously that scene was way too fast, and then he approaches Vegeta, and what disappoints me is we don't get to see that fight because obviously it focuses on Caulifla and Kale. Now I will say this: obviously the Caulifla hype's been stemmed ever since she awoke with Super Saiyan 2. 2 things they did, I think, kind of retcon that and made up for it. You can still make your judgment if you hate Caulifla or not, but I think it was a smart move on the anime's part. Caulifla revealed she wasn't able to control Super Saiyan 2 after she awakened it when Kale went nuts for the first time. And the second thing, the comment that Vegeta made about Kale in this new mode says this could be a true form of a Saiyan, which means could this be the true form of a Super Saiyan, or is it a true form of the Saiyan's potential? So I thought that's kind of interesting, and it may have been Vegeta saying, without actually saying it, that she could be the legendary Super Saiyan. So that's the vibes I got. The other thing, obviously, when we know for a fact that Caulifla did go up to Goku, she did, by the way, Goku was fighting up against the Yard Rat from Universe 2. I'm pretty sure Universe 2 are going to appear at some point because we haven't seen next to nothing of what they can do. So the Yard Rat was used to instant transmission. The observation hockey of Caulifla was impressive because she just came in, split bits the Yard Rat out. I don't think he's been eliminated, but I think she got a massive hit on the dude, and she's going to fight Goku. This is where things get interesting because she asked Goku right from the get-go for Trainer to become Super Saiyan Blue. And Goku said, and like I said, I think it was a smart move for Goku to say this. You're not quite there yet. You some ways to go. She is a prodigy, keep that in mind, but she still has a long way to go. She's finally able to control Super Saiyan 2. Then Goku says you might eventually go Super Saiyan 3, but you still got to get used to Super Saiyan 2. By the way, she used the bulking mode. A lot of people kind of leaked that out. I don't think it's next to nothing because obviously that's the Ultra Saiyan mode that Trunks was using and Vegeta was using. Didn't really make much difference. In fact, it kind of slowed it down. It even worn her out because even Goku says you can't fight in that mode because it slows you down. You sacrifice power for speed and you can't hit. But when she went into Super Saiyan 2, even though obviously Goku's holding back, it's still impressive she's able to go toe to toe. That fight wasn't going to end until Kale decided to shoot an energy blast. Goku's like, "What are you doing? Don't interrupt." And yep, Mira's like saying, "Why are you discussing things with Caulifla? Just KO her. This isn't the time to be getting friendly." But obviously, Goku said this is getting interesting. We knew for a fact Goku wasn't going to turn it down because that's how Goku is, right? Obviously, at some point, and Goku says you could go Super Saiyan 3 if you learn to control Super Saiyan 2 better. But the fact that he said learn how to use Super Saiyan 2, I don't think she's going SSJ 3 because obviously we know the drawback that has. It takes a lot of energy out. So, and it's a short time. It's a short-term form. I'm glad they did that because I don't think she's going to Super Saiyan Blue this tournament. Especially if you saw the preview, it looks like she's going into base mode. She's going to do something to protect Kale, especially the way this episode plays itself out. I'm telling you right now. So obviously, a lot of people are going to make jokes about that. But if she does decide to protect herself, because she's the one that caused Kale to transform because she tried to trigger and she obviously it wasn't working. When she decided to ignore her and fight with Goku, that's what did it. And you even got hit saying, "Yo, you messed things up because Caulifla, you created a monster because she's gone nuts and there's no way of controlling it unless your name is Jiren." But I'll get to that in a minute. But man, there's so much happening in this episode. Like I said, you had Kabe and Vegeta. Obviously, we didn't get to see how that thing's turned out. And obviously, you had Goku and Caulifla going neck and neck in Super Saiyan 2. That was kind of cool. Yeah, I did enjoy that. Obviously, Goku is still holding back though. And Kale goes nuts. Obviously, he gets jealous, mad salty over Son Goku because obviously there's obviously lesbian tendencies between Kale and Caulifla. Maybe on Kale's side, but obviously, so I got that same vibes as well. So, but I still think it's disturbing. She keeps calling her sis. I implied that they were biological sisters. So obviously, it's fair game at this point. But that's the fantasies aside. The way that Kale transforms and the way she just goes straight after Goku. And you think, obviously, oh, Goku should be able to handle this because he's Super Saiyan Blue. No. Okay. I don't know what spinach Kale's been on since she transformed. And she obviously has a huge weakness. She can't control it. And even Piccolo says, when you see the steam coming out of her, we see it twice. Once when she goes into the new mode, and another when she uses the energy blast and she's fighting with Goku. Piccolo stated she can't control it. So obviously, if she had better control, she would be a huge threat, no doubt about it. So the fact that she can't is a retcon. And even though we had Goku trying to take her on in SSJ2, so said, "Kale, come on, Kale," which is maybe the dumbest thing that Goku's ever stated because obviously Kale was tanking every hit that Goku did. He finally goes into Super Saiyan Blue, and can I just obviously it looked like I got more power now, but even. I don't know if it was a study at the moment, but it looked like Kale in a new mode was on par with Goku in Super Saiyan Blue. That's the crazy thing to me. And if that's the case, then it means she's way stronger than Broly. I know a lot of fans don't want to hear that, but just look at the facts, okay? Do you honestly think if Broly was back, he can tank those hits from Goku in Super Saiyan Blue? Yes or no? And Kale just tanked them like a boss, much like Broly did when Goku lost the Kamehameha. I don't know if Goku was holding back or not. Maybe he was, maybe it wasn't. But the fact is, she took it like a boss. Point blank, she took that Kamehameha, very reminiscent to the movie with Broly. Still didn't do a thing. And she grabbed Goku by the head and just threw his ass around like a rag doll. By the way, when she went nuts and shot, there's a part where Caulifla got knocked back and he almost got eliminated, but Hit come in with the time leap ability, the time skip, ends up saving Caulifla. So I thought that's kind of cool on Hit's part. By the way, Hit also KO'd Narirama, so Narirama's done for. Because he's like, yo, either jump out or I'm going to knock you out. So obviously he used the time ability. Even without arms and legs, Narirama started trying to fire a cannon. Hit, that didn't work. With one finger, boom, get lost. Narirama's done. So that's a fight from Universe 3 that's eliminated now. So if you keep a score, there you go. But then Kale goes nuts. She's fired her energy blast. Goku's in base mode, so that should tell you something about this. And this is after Goku said he wanted to preserve his energy, so obviously he can save his stamina for the Tournament of Power. That's not happening now, folks, because especially with the end of this episode. And can I just wait to say one thing? And Caulifla was trying to calm Kale down. That wasn't working. and you see one of the Pride Troopers trying to wrap her up with the, I guess, the energy chain. So I thought that was kind of cool. Didn't work though because she busted out of it. So, and her energy spat, the way she's throwing her energy around, it caught the attention of the Pride Troopers, and more specifically Jiren, who says, "I'm going to take care of this now, boys." And boy, does he ever. One energy blast, and it looked, at first glance I thought he was going to kill her, but no, I guess he held back to the point where she went back into normal mode, base mode. Khalifa caught her, and again, the preview, I think she's going to do something to help Kale, because somebody's going to target her, and Khalifa's going to get eliminated. So that's my honest opinion on this. By the way, I think Batomo and Magetta also got eliminated in this by Kale. I could be wrong. It looked like they got sent flying back as well, so I think they could be gone too, although Zeno didn't really specify, because he was marking people as I was able to be eliminated. Kale was mad impressive until Jiren knocked her out, and then they teased us to death with this, okay? I'm sorry, because it's like, in comes Hit like a boss, and it's like, yo, get Kale out of there. And he's going to take his hands out of his pockets, and I thought they were going to go at it. No, they just did, because I think even Hit realizes how strong Jiren is. So that should tell you something about that. Then in comes Goku. He's not intimidated. Base mode, it looks like they're going to throw down, and if you look at the preview, it looks like 17 and 18 are going to back him up. So that could be cool, especially against the Pride Troopers. Castle's going to get a major role in this too. And we see the Pride Troopers doing the pose. So I don't know if they're all going to jump in, but I don't know if we're going to get to see Goku and Jiren just yet. But regardless of what you think, the power scaling just broke with Jiren, okay? So if Goku is neck and neck, let's say, for hypothetically speaking, we still don't know if Goku is holding back or not, okay? But you have to admit, Kale in this mode is on par with Goku. If Khalifa gets stronger, she may be a threat because she's more polished, she's more refined when it comes to fighting. So obviously, it's the perfect balance. So obviously, if Kale ever decides to control her abilities, unless they get erased, which may happen, because remember, if all of them get eliminated, there's no coming back. So we'll see how things play itself out. But the power scaling broke. Whatever Goku's new mode is, whether it's Limit Breaker or not, doesn't matter. It's gonna have to be one powerful son of a bitch to deal with Jiren. I'm sorry, it's like, even if it does surpass Beerus, and there's a good chance of it happening, we still don't know if he's still the most strong of the God of Destruction. Obviously, I wouldn't doubt it after this episode. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. A really enjoyable episode. Lived up to all the hype. Let me know what you guys think down below. Subscribe to the channel for more Dragon Ball Super. Catch you guys later. Bye.